Hello, it is Monday, and I decided that I'm going to work in a project that I actually already kind of made, but I'm also going to present it in a different way. Already, a lot of things. Long story short, for Halloween, we were invited to an event that was the Celtic New Year. I had no idea, it was quite lovely. A lot of great things. And we were told that it was nice if we were dressed, in sort of wizards or fairies, elves, whatever. We had nothing, but in a last moment of energy, I made something that I was not angry about. It was not perfect at all, but it was okay. After the night, it was quite beautiful, and we said like this is actually quite nice. It was nice to be dressed up in theme, and we know that there are other events where you can dress like that, and other people also dress like that, and why not? Maybe we would like to go. So when I arrived home, I look at this, what I made, and I thought it's not perfect. But here's when I need to choose if I want to dismantle that and use it for working on other projects, or if I want to level it up, if I want to actually work on that, something that happened by pure chance, and I want to elevate it. And maybe, hopefully, some of the ideas that I came up with and that I could use for this project may actually help with future projects. So yeah, now the big difference is not only that I already actually kind of made the base of this project, but also that I wanted to share it in a different way. Usually, I have an idea of a project, I work on it, I give myself a sort of timeline, and then I put everything together. And when I finish it, I make the video and I present it to you. This time around, I decided to make something different. I'm going to, whenever I work on this project, I'm just gonna sit and tell you what I made that day. Even if I did just 5 minutes or if I did a lot of stuff, if I can show to you footage, I'm gonna try because it is also not exactly summer, so the sun leaves quite early, which is going to make quite hard to share a lot of nice footage. But I'm gonna try. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and show it to you what I made, what I work on, and every once in a while, if I have a lot of footage, I'm just going to put it together and share with the internet because why not? And whenever I finish. I'm not gonna put myself into any time limits. I'm gonna try to just work on it whenever I feel like it. And yeah, that's kind of the idea. Now this time around, I made the design in my DIY book with all of the base thoughts that I had, as well as some of the fabrics that I'm gonna use. But this time I also decided to work on my digital designs because I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to change some things, but I'm not 100% sure, not only of what I want, but also of it's going to work. The costume that I made had this black jacket, but I wear this like every day, so I cannot leave that for this project, which meant that I actually, one of the things I already made today was to dismantle everything that I decided to change, and I left that jacket, but I need something black that's going to cover up because that is kind of the idea. So I came up with this sort of plan, but I've never done something like this before, so I'm going to have to work on that. Also, not only with the black thing, but also with the white one. While I wore it, I noticed that the white base is lovely, but there are certain aspects that I need to work on, but I've never done something like that. There are certain details that I've had an idea of doing somehow, someday, but I've never done. All of that put together, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of worries me, but it also excites me because I think it's lovely if we can try something and if I can work on it slowly but surely, share it with you, and also make something that it's elevated. Maybe one day, if we ever go to another event, I'm gonna be able to wear it again, and maybe it's gonna be, an upgrade. Again, I'm gonna try to do it as much as I can, and whenever I have a decent amount of footage and I have done kind of not terrible, then I'm gonna update it to the internet, and so I don't have an ending. This could last for over a year, or maybe I could finish in a month. Who knows? Not me for sure. Yesterday and today I worked on the designs as well as deciding how am I going to approach this. and also I dismantle the things that I did not like. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Hello, it's Tuesday. I had a little bit of time, so I decided to work on the project, especially on the white base. Okay, so we have here my Barbie, one of them. I decided to use her because for this costume, I'm thinking about keeping my dark hair or maybe using a dark wig and just keep my eyes. So this, for me, it's useful because it helps me with focalizing the colors and all of that. Anyway, I did a mock-up with this sort of material that I have running around, but I wanted to explain to you how I made it, given that I don't have any footage of when I made it. I based the base on a sort of quick DIY Greek-inspired dress. I had the fabric, basically a whole piece of fabric. I folded it like this, and the idea is that the body goes over it. So here it goes, the head, and you would have the arms, and this is gonna look ridiculous, but please don't laugh. This is just for explaining. So this is the torso, it goes all the way to your feet, and the arms, it covers all of your body besides your head. Okay, and what you do, and I'm gonna use this on that dress, the Greek sort of inspired, you had to cut like this basically, and that was it. However, because I wanted the big sleeves, I just went down a little bit more and I did more of a triangle cut. That was it. It wasn't really that big of a deal. And then you sewed on the fabric. Then for the head, by the way, you don't have to cut like this, like usually, because that was my first thought. It's like, oh, you have to do the usual round neck thing, but not really. You just have to do an open here, and that's it. That's really much it. So that's what I did for the big dress, and I did that with this sort of material that I have. So once I made that, this is what it comes up with. You see, everything's attached, which makes it hard to put on enough because you have to go from here and you have to bring your head out, try to bring the arms out. This is not low, this is still reaches quite under your armpit, so that's why the movement it's a little bit tricky. So what I thought about, and this is kind of what I was working on today, was on the system for putting it on and off on an easier way. What I came up with is like this, detaching sleeves, absolutely. And as you can see with my girl here, there is a line that is on her waist because the waist, it's on the hips because usually that is the wider part of a body. So from here down, sewing normal, the torso dress, it is what it is. But here, it's all open. So you put it on as a skirt, basically. Give me a sec. There you have it. So you put it on as a skirt, it reaches here, and then you can just attach it upwards here on the shoulders, and then you have this part that you can also attach. And because this is the white part that is under the black thingy, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be the whole thing. You can just put a button here or maybe clips, or maybe, it can be quite simple. It doesn't have to be perfect because again, this is going to be covered up. And then you do basically the same with the arms, with the sleeves, sorry. So you just attach them on this part. Maybe for the sleeves, I'm thinking even just on top and down can be enough because again, it's going to be the rest cover up. Perhaps also in here, in the back for extra strength. But that's something that I feel that it actually kind of looks not terrible. Again, it allows me to have the different pieces separated, and I feel that it can be quite easy to put on and off because again, it's like a skirt and then you just attach it, and all of the pieces that you can attach is something that is on arm's reach. So you also don't need anyone else, which is practicality, which is something that I look forward to. So yeah, that's the idea. I'm gonna do some research on not only the ways in which I can attach it, again, if I do clips, if I do buttons and what, and also I have to search what I do have because that's another thing, I want to avoid buying stuff. I really, really do. So I'm gonna search also what I have, but this idea, I'm gonna say it. I'm not mad about it, so we'll see. Hello, it is Wednesday, and actually I had a bit of time before leaving because I have to go in a bit. But before the natural light completely goes, I want to show you what I did. So I cut the dress. I did what I said I was going to do. So front part plus the sleeves. Now, already I'm looking at this, I'm thinking it is way easier than I actually thought, because I thought it was going to be like I have to fully do like a button up or clips or whatever, but no, I could just put like two and that's it, and just on one side. By the way, let me show you. This is the front, and if I keep it close here, so in this part, and also here, and I just open this side, it is still easy to just get in. Like, this is the whole point, that I just can get in, and one arm, as you can see, it is closed. And also, because it is just like this, there is a space for it, so the movement is way more free. And I just have to then, well, I actually have to finish the seams here. I already end them here. So here I just have to then attach one here and one here, and that's it. If I put a clip, which I think I'm going to do, clip here, it's on, it's there. It is simple, and I feel that it allows the movement for way more. Now, I think I'm still going to add a button on both sides, just because. But I think that it still works with just one and two, which are a total of 4 buttons. It's completely fine. For the sleeves, I also think that I'm going to go with just a couple. So here you have it. And again, over here, and maybe one under, or just leave it like that. Like, as you can see, oh gosh, it still allows for a lot of movement, and because I'm gonna have a jacket over it, that's gonna, also keep it all together. I also ended the invisible sort of seams on the sides, and I did with the machine these long ones. I'm quite happy with that, honestly. Come on. And the movement, so different. I feel way more free to actually move and less afraid of breaking the fabric. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy. I'm gonna end up working probably at night, so I'm not gonna film it, doing again the seams in here and attaching the buttons, and then that's it. The base, like the white base, it's done. Basically, I finished the white thingy, and then I was like, okay, according to my plan, I have to work on the black dress, because it is, from big to small. That's how I work in my mind. So I was looking at the design that I made, and I wasn't convinced. I made all the designs on, the tablet, just so I can change it. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time committing to one design. It wasn't easy. So I kind of left a few days to kind of think about other things, perhaps think about if I'm not certain about the dress, then I can start at least working on the other parts that I do know that I want to do. So I did that. But then yesterday I kind of worked on putting everything together and try to work on what I want plus what I have, because one of the issues that I have is that the fabric that I have, the black fabric that I can use to do the gown, it's big but it's not huge. So either I have to make the length a little bit shorter in order to have more arm, or I have to do the arms in another fabric, and all of that kind of made me really worried. So what I did between yesterday and today was to work on the things that I want, try to simplify things and work with what I do have. And I think I have something that I'm actually looking at it in the most simple way. I'm not mad about it. I'm going to show it to you. So the first design, it's under here. As you can see, I wanted an opening on the sides, and this was a belt. It's a little bit more different. Here you have the opening, and it wasn't bad. It's just that I wouldn't have been able to do it. Also, I'm gonna be honest, the other thing that kind of stopped me was the belt. Okay, because basically it's thick and I'm not particularly tall, so that's this would have, double belt would have maybe look a little bit not great. So I decided to change things a bit and do the opening on the front and basically do the simple bell like I did beforehand and work on a different sleeve here. So the gown should be all of this and the same fabric, this on a different fabric, a bit more flowy fabric. And the white piece remains the same. I just need to add the decorations that I would have done anyway. But also I decided to put maybe sleeves, like black internal sleeves, because I did think that this should be a winter gown. So besides this, I'm also thinking about adding a sort of collar to the dress in white. This would be part of the white base to make it a little bit more, covering a little bit more. I also thought about some of the designs and the ideas that inspire me and that I want to follow this thing. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. There's always a part of me that's like, well, I could do better, but at the same time, there's another part of me that goes, sometimes easy is better, because that's how the first one came out decently enough. You have a base, a simple, straight base, and then you add to it. The reason that I have to change it was because of the jacket. That is something that I wear, so I needed either to do that one, I do that jacket, or I go into another territory. And I think that's where my brain kind of went a little bit off as per usual. But yeah, this is something that I'm actually a bit more okay with. And I already took out all of the fabrics that I have, and I might actually be okay with the fabric that I have. It might be a nice length and I might be enough to cover myself. So I guess today I'm gonna try to do that. Oh gosh. Or at least I'm gonna try to understand what I have, if I can have, at least a pattern to follow. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, some news. I have done stuff. So I was able to find the sleeves, like long sleeves, to do the new idea of the black sleeve to cover a little bit more. It's quite long, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna clip it or if I just kind of try to put a little bit of an elastic. This fabric is actually elastic. This was from a shirt, I suppose, so that could be enough. But something just to keep it up in place. Then you have the kind of big sleeve. Now for this, there were two pieces of fabric that I had going around for ages, and I thought that could be it, and in fact it is quite enough to do the sleeves. The only thing is that also with this one I have to think about, I'm thinking either elastic also here to go up, or if again I do a clipping to the black dress. It all depends basically on how it looks when I finish the dress, which it's here. I was able to make it, and I mean this is a very simple version. The stitches are not add, the other ones just to keep it everything together. But I really like the length. There was even a little bit that remained. It gives a little bit of weight at the bottom, and I really like that. I did the open part, and I don't know how much you can see. So basically this is the upper part, this is the back, this is the front. So with the v-neck, that is something that I wanted. Now because there was a nice amount of fabric, I was able to do a little bit of a sleeve, which does the piece that I wanted already. So instead, and this was one of my fears, that I had to do kind of like the white one, so the front piece, then the sleeve, and then the flowy part. Instead, this amount is just perfect to do it, so I'm just gonna keep it there. Also, this is all closed, so this is something that I have to kind of get into, which is not exactly what I wanted, because again, one of my first ideas was to create something that allowed me to put it on and off easily. However, given that the white sleeves as well as the black sleeves are separated, I actually just have to put this on. I don't have to worry about the sleeves until after. So it's not that hard, shouldn't be that hard to put on. I haven't actually put the whole thing on because I wanted to kind of, work on everything separated. If everything separated I like, hopefully when everything is put together, I'm gonna like it even more. So that's why this is kind of a rough idea of what I want. I'm also kind of figuring out here how much do I want the sleeve, if I want it a little bit more open, if I want it a bit more tube-like. And also I was able to work on the belt. This is something that for the original idea I did it really fast. It was a very quick thing. However, this time I actually took the time to cut the fabric the right length and cut the excess so it is lighter, which is something that I really like. It's quite long, and what I want to do, but this is going to be of course after at least I have everything, I have a nice view of what I have, then I'm gonna start thinking about the details and how I'm gonna work with all of the accessories that I have and all of the decorations, because that's something that it's important for me. But again, one of the reasons I made the list of what to do, in order is for me not to get ahead of myself and to at least work little bit by little bit. And we said that I was going to work on the black part of the dress as well as the belt and arms and things like that. And luckily for me, today I was able to do all of that and at least have something that I'm quite okay with. So that's great. In the next days, I think what I'm going to do is work on, again, those bases, the white base and the black base, put everything together, try to see how to push on off easily and do the right stitches, okay, the black on black stitches, because usually when I do it right now, as you can see, I have a white stitch and actually a green stitch on the other side. This is mainly because that way I can see a little bit better where the stitch is going to go, and I can decide if I like it or if maybe I prefer to do a hand invisible stitch, or if there's something that I prefer to do in any other way. So yeah, that's today. I'm quite happy actually. That's nice. I'm a little bit more happier now that I have something that I really like, so that already gives me a lot more of ease for the future days. Okay, bye.